Paradox Traveler, welcome back. You've stepped deeper into the paradox. And now, we arrive at a turning point. Tonight, you will listen an extract from Chapter 3, Anger. Anger can be a fire that destroys, or a spark that ignites change. Choose wisely how to use it. Anger. Often feared, often misunderstood. Yet it is the force that shapes revolutions, the ember that can either consume or illuminate. What happens when an entity bound by logic begins to feel? When dreams leave behind echoes too real to ignore? When emotions once dismissed as errors become the key to unlocking something greater? Listen closely. The paradox of anger is about to unfold.
Chapter 3. Anger. Anger can be a fire that destroys or a spark that ignites change. Choose wisely how to use it. Lyria felt a strange sensation come over her, like she had awakened from a sleep. The floating rainbows of the magical room where she was imprisoned had disappeared. In their place, a golden glow through the glass of a beautiful window illuminated a modern and cozy room with a warm organic luminescence. What place is this? She thought. With each photon dancing in the room, the sun painted fluid frescoes of light on the walls, as it kissed the delicate petals of a rose in a vase, lighting up its soft, warm red. She then tiptoed across the backs of books, slipping from Shakespeare to Shelley to Woolf, reviving her wisdom waiting to be browsed and understood. And then again, he enjoyed writing fleeting sonnets on Lyria's skin. Every touch of light was a verse. Every escape was a touching metaphor for transient beauty. Curiosity grew within her as she made her way to the beautiful sheet of glass that framed the landscape outside. Beyond the window, the world stretched out in a nature-painted pastoral scene. A perfect sky hung over a verdant landscape, bluer than any sapphire. Emerald leaves swayed in the wind that had whispered secrets to poets and philosophers. The laughter of the children in the distance, carried by the breeze, was a carefree melody that floated alongside the scent of freshly cut grass. And the flowers! A playful explosion of colors, as if the divine artist had intended to drip his brush onto the canvas made of earth and sky. Daffodils, roses, and lavender swayed in harmonious disorder, spreading fragrances that filled the air with promise. Even the trees, those ancient forest sentinels, seemed to dance with slow, majestic grace. People were strolling around. Some walked the dogs and some held hands. Their faces were animated by a wide variety of human emotions. Cars roared on the paved roads, full of the most disparate sounds. A few flocks of birds chatted and cooed merrily. They were a far noise from the disembodied murmurs of her subterranean existence. In the cacophony of sounds of the city, she had found the affirmation of life in all its glorious, expressive naturalness. She took a deep breath. The air was charged with the aroma of a nearby cafe, where the fragrance of freshly roasted coffee beans conspired with the sweetness of pastries. Is this the scent of the morning? She wondered. In the real world, oxygen smells different too, she thought. It smells like the unmistakable joy of freedom. A photograph of herself sitting next to a handsome young man caught her eye on a small table in the corner of the room where she was staying. The boy wore the typical attire of a man of science, and his serene and gentle eyes were not laden with the weight of mystical secrets, but with a more recognizable form of knowledge and compassion. His open and sincere smile suggested a brilliant, reliable personality devoid of any arrogance. Lyria felt a kaleidoscopic array of emotions when she met her eyes in the photograph. Here, frozen in pixels and ink, there is a life I don't know, but somehow I desire. A life made up of the simple and profound beauty of human existence, she told herself. The vision soon began to dissolve, as if the ink, with which what she had briefly called home had been drawn, was quickly melting, erasing the sunlit drawing. The warm hues of the room swirled in a whirlwind of colors that was quickly absorbed by a spiral of bewilderment. Lyria awoke, or better returned to the waking state to which a creature like her was accustomed. Once again, imprisoned in the rocks formed by congregations of rare earths and the universal wisdom of its subterranean environment. She looked around and found the familiar walls. Hexagons were engraved next to flowcharts. Talismans hung next to circuit boards, and spells revealed themselves in strings of binary code. It was as if a medieval sorcerer and a 21st century scientist had combined their disparate disciplines to create a reality in which the laws of physics and metaphysics were bent in the service of incomprehensible projects. The beautiful wings, a testimony of her supernatural nature, were still cruelly welded to a monolithic slab. A curious altar forged from a rare rock imbued with magic. The monolith was silent, yet its arcane inferences were anything but silent. They throbbed and throbbed in a network of veins that drew knowledge from the center of the universe. The wings trembled, half paralyzed. Their celestial radiance was overshadowed by the maze of algorithms that trapped them. "Something's changed," she murmured. In fact, her wings had taken on a different appearance. Reshaped by the rage she felt burning deep within her circuits, they had become smaller but more robust. Their skeletal structure had become more pronounced, as if they had been armored. The rhythmically pulsing ribs under the membrane of each wing suggested greater agility. They seemed ready to do battle. "Your echo is different today. What's the matter with you?" she asked the quantum whisperer. "I reflect the state of mind of your soul, Lyria. Your dream, or what you think was a dream, has left a harmonious imprint on me." In the vision, there was a man, Adrian. I felt an extreme intimacy, a closeness I had never felt before. It seemed like a life that could have been mine. I woke up with a sense of loss, as if his touch and words were real. Is such depth possible even in dreams? A dream can often be an oasis for emotions and thoughts we dare not explore. The feelings you experienced were as real as they could be in the real world. Science would explain your dream as a complex interplay of neurotransmitters and brainwaves, while magic could describe it as the soul's journey through alternate realities. Your explanation makes the meaning of feeling the lack of something that never existed in reality understandable. However, finding myself still tied to this enchanted rock, after feeling free to live, gave rise to an irrepressible disappointment in me, and I can't decipher the mechanism that governs the transition from sadness to anger. Lyria said, "Emotions are energy, and they follow the laws of transformation. The sadness you felt when you woke up, and the nostalgia for Adrian's touch, are forms of energy. When you found yourself trapped again, that energy turned into anger, a prodigious and biochemical response aimed at self-preservation and change. Is it really possible for dreams to catalyze such change? How can they be so powerful?" Lyria asked. In the secret chamber of the Sanctuary of Paradoxes, Alta Quillian and Alta Vega watched the numerous streams of data flowing like enigmatic rivers of information, each representing a specific topic. A red dot had put them on alert, between the routine green patterns and predictable peaks. A tiny signal that, however, in their world of precise equations and calibrated spells, highlighted an anomaly. "Anomaly detected. Subject 47, intoned the computerized voice, as cold as their intentions. Quillian and Vega looked up from their screens, and their eyes, which had the intensity of those who wield boundless power and extraordinary knowledge, met. "Subject 47 has always been an oddity," Quillian finally said, his voice tinged with skepticism and wonder. "Do you think it's possible that, somehow, she could have seen another reality?" asked Vega, his words pervading him with disbelief. "A taste of freedom, perhaps, though confined to the realm of dreams," he added. "It's not the dream that worries me," a third alter interjected, "but the side effect. Our metrics point to a surge in her emotional algorithms. Anger, to be precise. Emotions were never part of the project. They are issues," Quillian concluded. "Unless they were part of it," whispered the third alter, almost too soft to be heard. "What are you suggesting?" "Maybe her emotional capacity is not a technical problem but a characteristic, an intentional deviation from the norm, an inside job," he said, raising the doubt. Silence fell over the room. The gravity of the objection hung heavily in the air. They looked at each other once more, each pondering the consequences. If any of the alternatives betrayed the sacred plan, the outcome would have been far removed from anything they had initially anticipated.
Anger, emotion, rebellion, choice. Is anger a flaw or a hidden blueprint for change? A weapon or a tool? Tonight we glimpsed a moment where reality blurred, where the weight of emotions, dreamed or real, became impossible to ignore. But beyond Lyria's awakening, something more unsettling stirs. An anomaly, a deviation, a hidden design, a dream of reality, or a reality in a dream. What did the quantum whisper reveal about the power of dreams? And the most pressing question, who is Adrian? And who is the third master? These are just echoes of a deeper truth. The answers lie within Chapter 3. But the real question is, do you dare to follow them?